You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the March 19th, 2024 meeting of the LaPorte County Board of Zoning Appeals. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accessLaPorteCounty.org.
All right, good evening. I'd like to call to order the March 19th meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals. If I could get a roll call, please.
Back doing the pledge first.
I thought I would do it second, but yes, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance if you would stand. And Deb, would you please lead us? Have a little
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now may I have a roll call?
Melissa Mullins-Mischke.
Here.
Ernie Schmidt.
Here.
Vern Schaefer.
Here.
John Carr.
Here.
Deb Vance.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Wonderful. Thank you. Could I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes from February 20th?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Can I get a roll call?
Melissa Mullins-Mischke.
Aye.
Deb Vance.
Aye.
John Carr.
Aye.
Ernie Schmidt.
Aye.
Vern Schaefer.
Yeah, aye.
Okay. So before we get to the petitions, I want everyone to understand that we do not have public comments. Your opportunity to speak is during remonstrance, whether you're for or against a petition. Everyone gets 3 minutes, and Ashley is going to count it down on the clock. And when your 3 minutes is up. You're done. And if you have a group of people, I'd like to hear something new from the next one every time. So with that, let's get into our petitions. Petition number 1 is a petition for variance of developmental standards for Christopher S. and Jennifer M. Granfield for construction of a second home to care for elderly parents. The property located at 921 East, 650 North, LaPorte, Galena Township, zoned ag on 9.723 acres.
No, it's adequate.
If you would like to come forward, please, and state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, I'm Christopher Granfield. My address is 921 East, 650 North, LaPorte, Indiana, 46350.
Okay, and tell me about your plans.
My plans are my father-in-law and my mother-in-law live in Arizona, and they are from Indiana originally, and my father-in-law is in failing health. They need help. So what we want to do is build a barn with an in-law apartment up by our house so we can keep a watchful eye on my in-laws. We've expanded the septic field to accept a bigger building already. It's the high point on the land.
Have you talked with the health department already?
Have I talked to
The health department on the size of your septic?
Not yet.
Okay. Waiting to see what we decide?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of questions does the board have?
Is this an attachment to an existing building, or is this a brand new construction?
It's brand new construction. It's the intended building is going to be a barn dominium with a 60 by 40 pole barn and a living space and an L off the barn.
What are your plans for the future of this property? Well, once the need is gone.
Well, my plans are, I have 2 children. They're older, and I have the property in a trust. I'd like to keep it in the family. These rural properties are kind of hard to get, and I want it to be a family compound, I guess, for future generations.
Okay.
What's your time frame?
Thank you.
I'm ready to do this as soon as I get approval, I guess. The sooner the better. Hopefully within the next year.
How long do you think it's going to take for construction?
I think the shell could be put up in 7 weeks, and then we're going to finish the inside once it's weathered in.
Okay.
I know barn dominiums take a lot less time to build than stick-built homes, so.
Yeah, they go up pretty quick,
Yeah.
pretty energy efficient.
Are there any remonstrators tonight for this petition? Anybody for or against petition number 1? Okay. Hearing and seeing none. If there are no further questions from the board, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we approve. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Can I get a roll call, please?
Alyssa Mullins-Mishki,
Aye.
Deb Vance,
Aye.
John Carr,
Aye.
Ernie Schmidt,
Aye.
Vern Schaefer.
Aye.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, petition number 2 this evening is a petition for variance of developmental standards for Corey A. Maderas for construction of a residential use pole barn with water to be built before the primary home. Property is located at 7995 East State Road 2, New Carlisle, in Wills Township, zoned ag on 17.05 acres.
Notice adequate.
Thank you. If you would please state your name and address for the record.
Corey Maderas. The address we're talking about is 7995 East State Road 2, New Carlisle, Indiana.
Is that where you reside currently?
Not yet.
Can you tell us the address you're currently at?
18382 Claremont Drive, South Bend, Indiana.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right, what are your plans?
I want to build a garage, more or less, with water, a septic system, things of that nature, to then use to build a house further off into the property. It's about 17 acres.
So you're going to store your construction materials inside, are you your own contractor
Well, I'm not actually going to build this. I am, but
for the house?
I'm not going to build the whole house either. We'll do basic exterior stuff, but we're going to contract out the shell and foundation, things of that nature.
Okay, so you want to store materials inside the structure
Yep.
and reside there?
Yep. Well, no. I'm not going to live in it.
Okay,
No.
all right. And there's structure on the property already?
Yep. There's a cabin with an adjoining it's not a 2-car garage. It's more or less industrial doors.
And there's a reason you can't use that for storage?
Too much. We have too much stuff. We have excavators. We
Okay.
have trucks, all types of stuff.
What size building are you looking at?
It's going to be a 40 by 60 is the actual
I
footprint.
just saw it as I asked you.
Yep.
Okay, do we have any remonstrators for this petition? Anybody for or against petition number 2? What kind of questions do we have?
One question, how long after the construction of this, or do you plan on starting the house?
Within 12 months.
Where's your house gonna go?
It'll be further back in the property, approximately shooting from the hip, 150 yards probably.
Are you going to keep that existing structure?
Yes.
Is there a septic for that existing structure?
Not yet. It's been approved, but we didn't realize we were gonna have to get a variance, so we obviously paused everything.
Is that structure residential?
That's currently there?
Yes.
There's no water into it.
Okay, so it's just storage.
Yeah.
Do you plan on to have septic for both buildings?
I think maybe I misunderstood. The new building will have a septic. There was a previous structure here, and they demolished it. And there's a dry well there. Obviously, it's not up to code, so that's got to be collapsed. We're going to put a new septic in for the new barn. The old cabin is on the other side of the driveway, so that won't have any water or septic attached to it.
The way the petition is written for the variance is that it is a construction of a residential use pole barn with water to be built before the primary home. And you say it's a residential use building, but you're not going to live there? Is that?
No, we just want to have access to water and a bathroom while we're there building the house and maintaining the property, but there will be nobody residing in the house or
Okay.
in the barn.
Madam President, if I could, to clarify the way that was written, the zoning is ag, which is why it was written for residential use as opposed to ag use. I think this is the one where I did want to verify that there isn't gonna be any, there isn't gonna be any structures and any utility easements or affect the overhead lines that are running through there.
Does that make sense?
I'm listening. I don't know.
There are overhead power lines there currently,
Yes.
and you want to make sure that
They're over there and
they don't disturb the underground or overhead utilities?
Right, right. Check for easements and don't build in any easements.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Are there any further questions from the board? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I move that we grant the petition for variance of developmental standards for Corey Maderas for construction of this pole barn, assuming that all of the utilities that are existing are not impaired prior to the building of a primary home to be constructed, starting date within 12 months.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, if you would give me a roll call.
Melissa Mullins-Mischke,
Aye.
Deb Vance,
Aye.
Ernie Schmidt,
Aye.
John Carr,
Aye.
Vern Schaefer.
Aye.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Petition number 3 this evening is a petition for variance of developmental standards for Robert Helmer for placement of a shipping container for storage. Property is located behind 10152 East, 500 South Walkerton, Lincoln Township, zoned ag on 5.32 acres.
Hello, Robert Helmer.
Wait a moment, we're gonna make sure your legal works all there.
Thank you.
Did you get the qualification?
I sent it to you. It's in the folder.
Stick right there and sign it on.
Notice is adequate.
Thank you. If you would please state your name and address for the record.
Robert Helmer, 9243 Greenwood Avenue, Munster, Indiana.
All right, Robert. So you own this property out in Walkerton.
Correct. That's a abandoned railroad, a little over 5 acres. There's a high tension utility line running through the west quarter and the back 2/3. The very far east end still has the existing railroad bed there, and it's kind of a high embankment because that's where it crosses the canal that's on the eastern side of the property, and has a lot of trees. I want to turn it into a more grassy area for small game such as rabbit primarily.
What is the road frontage on?
100 feet.
Okay, thank you. And how often would you be using this for hunting? Like a weekend activity?
But yeah, the rabbit season usually only goes from, early fall, after the first freeze through January.
Okay.
But currently it has a lot of trees, hemlock, and these small trees that grow similar to bamboo that you really can't get through. So I've found that a weed whacker and chainsaw is inadequate, and they need a tractor with a mower type thing to keep these invasive species down.
I hear you. Do we have any remonstrators tonight for this petition? If you'd like to have a seat, we'll hear from our remonstrator. And hi there, if you would state your name and address for the
My name
record.
is Steve Taylor, 10152 East 500 South, Walkerton. We have the property adjoining the property in question.
Okay.
We're opposed to having a shipping container placed back there. It is the back of our property. It would be an eyesore. Property values, always in question when you have things like that. And we're just really concerned about also activity of people breaking into items there that are not addressed or not attended to. But main thing is just having that what we would consider an eyesore in the back of our property.
Okay. Great, thank you. Any other remonstrators? All right, if you'd like to come back up. So I think one of the things I'm concerned about is with regard to hunting and the shipping container. again, I have to agree with security. So you don't live on the property or near the property, so that could be a problem. But I worry about the use of the land too, hunting in the direction of homes.
The home is not right next door. It's not like a residential area. They have an entire meadow between me and the house. There's a line of trees that run along the house. DNR has come out and clearly they've already called DNR on me once. And he came out and clearly stated that this is absolutely ideal for hunting legally. Everything south of me is nothing but farmland. Everything west of me is nothing but farmland. Everything east of me is nothing but swamp. They have their horses, and they're opposed to the shipping container because of appearances. They've already sent me a recommendation to build a shed. They gave me a name to have someone build a shed. So
Okay.
Having a structure on the property, I don't think is their objection. Their objection is just that it's an unsightly shipping container. I'm more than happy to put up some Christmas trees or some green type evergreens that grow to block that side of the shipping container.
Well, let's see what
paint it?
other questions we have as a board.
What's this gonna sit on? Is it gonna sit on a foundation or just gravel?
I sit on the railroad bed, the rock and the stone from the railroad bed.
This, this is the only property that you own here, is that correct? This
That is not correct. Just to the west, I own another 1 mile stretch of the railroad. And that's like Project C for me. The ideal, not only, I'm about to retire. I'm an outdoor guy. My jobs are all outdoor. I'd like to continue being outdoors. And so that right now, the goal is to set it up for like a rabbit, basically rabbit, just get out and walk. And then I got a meeting with DNR coming up in order to determine what it takes to set it up for the rabbit hunting area. I like a dog. I like to be able to train my dog out there during the summer. That's goal B. I like to get a beagle.
The other one he has, 500.
Yes, I guess the only thing that concerns me obviously is a narrow strip of 100 feet wide of property, and you're going to use it for hunting purposes. It's pretty hard to make sure that you keep the bullets on your property, and unless you have permission from the adjoining landowners to actually hunt there.
That's pretty much true in almost any piece of property, as long, if you hunt the edges of any piece of property. Rabbit hunting is a 410. It's a small shell you can get on a shotgun. I'm not out there with an assault rifle shooting deer. It's just strictly just a kind of a rabbit thing. It's a small single shot 410 that I use. And it's a legal purpose. I mean, it's legally zoned to be able to hunt.
What color is the storage container?
I do not have one yet.
You don't have it yet.
So, but as far as color, there's a line of trees that abut the property now. I can leave them, paint the thing brown, camouflage. But security is a big problem, and they even said that. She clearly kind of put the thing into my mind that a lot of people are traveling up and down, and people steal stuff. Well, in order for me to maintain my property, I have to have the equipment to do it. I can't just leave it sit out there. Probably get stolen.
Okay. If we don't have any other questions and there are no remonstrators left, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we do not allow the storage container.
Okay, so we have a motion to deny the petition. Is there a second? Okay, so that motion dies for lack of a second. Do we have another motion?
I don't like negative motions, so I guess I would move that we grant the variance. But I'm trying to figure out, obviously, that on these kind of things, the shipping containers have to be anchored, they have to be on a footing.
They have to be on a footing.
Yes, they do.
You're going to work with the building department and they will.
That's,
inspect it.
I want you to be aware of that. Obviously, but I'm not going to say that we're going to necessarily pass this motion, but I move that we grant the motion for the purpose of putting a shipping container here with the understanding that it will be aesthetically pleasing, not something that turns into a junkyard. And that's where I'm going to end my motion.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can I get a roll call, please?
Melissa Mullins-Mishke,
Nay.
Deb Vance,
Yes.
Ernie Schmidt,
Nope.
John Carr,
Yes.
Vern Schaefer.
Nay.
That's no then.
So the petition failed. Good luck.
Yeah. Good luck. By the way, I'd like to say thank you for the building department. They made this very process very nicely done.
Nice to hear. Thank you. Petition for a variance of developmental standards for Ivan W. Singleton, owner, and Ivan M. Singleton, buyer, to split a 2-acre parcel off a landlocked parent parcel and for construction of a home. Parcel will have access through an easement, and the property is located at 784 East 400 South, LaPorte, Washington Township, zoned ag on 24.952 acres.
Here.
Yeah. Got yeah. Tap. And that could don't guess 3 is.
He said it would be worth the
I
$100.
bet you. Yeah, that one.
Work or something.
No, it's just adequate.
Okay, thank you. If I can get one or both of you to approach and state your name and address for the record.
Ivan W. Singleton, 784 East 400 South, LaPorte, Indiana, for 6350.
Okay. Is this Ivan Jr.?
Yeah.
Come on up and state your name and address too.
Hi, Ivan Matthew Singleton, 55320 Songcrest Drive, New Carlisle, Indiana.
Okay. All right, so we want to take 2 acres off this giant chunk. And it doesn't have any road frontage?
Correct. We have 25 acres. My son wants to build a house there. Basically, they have their first grandchild, another one on the way, and they want to raise them at the place where he was raised. And so they're looking at building a barn dominium style. And they've been talking with a company called Miracle.
I just learned this term tonight, barn dominium. Where's this been my whole life?
They're just more efficient
It is.
to build it, cost-wise anyways.
What I'm learning. So you have how much road frontage up front there?
It's 30 foot,
And that's, your house is there?
yes.
Off the 30 foot. And where are we gonna put the next house?
So it would be to the east of the current house.
So we're gonna be kind of parallel with each other?
Yeah, it'll be the front section of the property
Okay.
to the east, and then the driveway will come up in between us, and then it'll cut off, go to the left to him, and
So are you going to grant an easement on that? Is
yeah,
that the
I mean,
intent?
at the end of the day, this property will go to my son or his brother. I don't plan to ever sell it.
Yeah, but what happens when one of them wants to sell it?
I'll be
That's
dead, I'll
what
be dead and buried, man.
And that's what we have to deal with, not you. So that's kind of why we're asking all these questions. Do we have any remonstrators for this petition? Anybody for or against it? Let's get that out of the way. All right, you guys, what kind of questions do you have?
You say the easement will be part of the title of the property.
Correct.
Okay.
That'll take care of everything. That should be part of the motion.
I agree.
How soon before he would build a house on that?
Basically, I would reach out to Milmar and then get the process started, and then as soon as building permits got approved, then we would just keep going. So.
How long do you anticipate construction taking?
When I talked to them probably a month ago, just asking them general questions, he said it'd be about a 13 to 14 month for them to do all of it.
Okay.
From the
So
time-
roughly a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions, Ernie? Okay, well, if there are no further questions from the board, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we, ask for this.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a couple of them. Great. Can I get a roll call?
Melissa Mullins-Mishke,
Nay.
Deb Vance,
Yes.
Ernie Schmidt,
Yes.
John Carr,
Yes.
Vern Schaefer.
Yes.
Okay, your motion's gonna pass. I do want to urge you to make sure that you label both addresses at the street and make sure that your fire department knows where you guys are at.
Okay.
Okay? Great, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Petition number 5 is a petition for variance of developmental standards for Daniel B. and Kathleen M. Williams to operate an agricultural repair with sandblast cleaning. Property is located at 13998 South, 400 West in Hannah Township, zoned R1B on 39 acres.
Notice is adequate.
Great, thank you. Before you state your name and address for the record, is this the one everybody's here for?
I think so.
Okay, all right,
Dan Williams, address is 116 East Jersey, Hannah.
okay,
And then, can I bring this?
you may.
This is all entrance, the side right here.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is where it's 39 acres
Oh, okay.
north. There's houses here. I'm right here. Mark's, Schaefer, or Schmidt. And I'm looking to put a building in right here, just so you have an idea. It's about 800-900 feet off the road.
Okay, very good, thank you.
I got measurements on there.
Okay, thank you.
We're just looking at possibly putting up a business out in the field. I own 39 acres there. I'm looking to do in the furthest corner away from everybody. I'm looking to put up a temporary shelter because we do agricultural cleaning, repairs. Sandblasting is part of it. It does create dust. So anyhow, we're going to put up a hoop building to do all the blasting inside.
You're currently doing sandblasting?
Yeah,
Outside.
which we've stopped.
Okay.
We've stopped on that property, and so we're going to put up a hoop building and blast inside that.
Okay,
And I did as far away from everybody as I possibly can is try to put it out. So that's really about it.
okay. Who wants to start with remonstrance? Anybody? Don't be shy.
My name's Doug Rosebaum. I live right across the street from his property. Are we good?
Give us your address, Doug.
Okay, 13961 South, 400 West, right across the street. A lot of us are concerned about air pollution, noise pollution, dust, debris, anything that can contaminate our water, have a negative impact on plants, animals, soil contamination from heavy metals or other toxic substances, which can make our land unsuitable for agricultural use. The USDA has done a study that has proven up to it can destroy up to the yield of 36% of the yields of the crop. Water pollution, contaminants from the sandblasting that may not be contained. The erosion and surface damage of vehicles and homes, which the open blasting he's done already has coated our fronts of our houses. Respiratory issues, dust, hearing loss. I don't know if Black Beauty coal slag is their possible medium that they're using in their sandblasting operation, but it irritates the respiratory system, skin, eyes, may cause inflammation, pulmonary fibrosis, lung issues. OSHA mandates protective measures that are taken with this product. From nausea, vomiting, beryllium, cadmium are carcinogens in the coal slag. Even at trace levels, beryllium can be harmful and cause heart failure. Sandblasting near crops can open up wounds, plants, allow pathogens into plants, and kill the plants. The Clean Air Act protects the health and sensitivity of populations such as us. We're all on well water out there. Protects us from asthmatic people, children, the elderly. It also provides secondary standard protection for damage of animals, crops, vegetation, and buildings. Particulate matter in the air can also cause health problems. The lead can get into the air and soil. And on his cover sheet, I know it says agricultural cleaning, but you can't just add agricultural repair work to this variance sheet when clearly if you look at their website and their Facebook page, it says they are an industrial painting and sandblasting business. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other remonstrators? Come on up. If you would state your name and address for the record, please.
Thomas State, 13977 South, 400 West, directly across from the property which the building wants to be built. My complaint is more for aesthetics. They've done the research on the health issues. My particular house was built in 1956. That's when picture windows were a big thing. I got the biggest picture window in the house at 6 feet by 12 feet, and I look directly at an eyesore now. They've done work out there before. They've put a temporary parking lot up. They got a dirt cross track out there, and they've stored a lot of junk out there recently. Now it's kind of been moved since this has all started. He says he's trying to move further away from people. He's actually moved closer to me at this point. He has his business now on Jersey Street, which he does his sandblasting and stuff over there. I'm not even sure if that's zoned to do that where he's at in the residential area that is. But you can hear the noise on a continuous basis every day, almost every day. I know when he came by and stopped by my house, he talks about planting trees and so forth to cover this up. But we all know it takes 10, 15, 20 years for trees to mature, and by then I'll be dead and gone, but still looking at this eyesore. So that's my biggest complaint, along with the agreement with Mr. Rosebaum there. And I hope you deny this variance at this point. Thank you.
Thank you.
What did he say he was building on there?
Building.
Where on that?
Are there any other remonstrators? Let's bring something new.
Back here.
Anybody else? Okay. If we can have you to come back up, I think we have some additional questions as well.
That's where he's building it. So it's pretty far.
My question is, what's in the corner? Is that four-wheelers?
Yeah.
And you can't,
Motorcycle.
you don't want to move that in order to put it further away from people?
It would be a couple, 200 or 300 feet. I could. Yeah, I'll do whatever I have to. But as far as the open blast, that's why I'm putting up a building, and
You said you're putting up a hoop structure.
hoop structure
And
because of the amount to build a building right now. I need something that I can do inside that I can afford to do now and build it up for in the future. And as far as the website with the industrial coatings, that's my son's doing, and they go out of town to do that stuff. They go to Milestone Concrete. They do stuff for them. This is a shop that I've been doing stuff for 25 years here.
So you do sandblasting
Yep.
on Jersey Street?
Yeah, by my barn in the back. I've, again, for over 25 years, I've done work for virtually all my neighbors. Businesses, Rice Farms, Matt Welsh Cope, just, I've done stuff for, well, I don't want to name names, but other people quite a few.
Okay. What kind of questions do we have?
Were you, I know you're doing sandblasting, Mr. Williams. Do you say the painting and stuff you're not going to be doing on this site? Is that what you're saying? If
we have to do any painting, everything will be inside and filtered.
Obviously, it's going to be difficult to sandblast in the same building that you're painting in.
You put a divider wall inside. Then you have the filter building that you do all your dust, and once it reclaims, then you can clean up and paint.
But I guess it's my understanding that if there's a building involved, they prefer to sandblasting inside of a building.
Yep.
This hoop structure that you've presented to us is what size?
It's going to be a 42 by 80.
Yeah.
And what is the scope of your business intention for the future?
The intention is to use this as a home site, not necessarily for business. Our business can be to grow into going to like Citgo refinery, stuff like that. We just need to have a base somewhere, and right now we're using this to build it, to get started. We literally just started 2 years ago, and we're just trying to build a business in order for my son to continue.
I guess my question is how far do you see this growing? You know, and as far as a business, and of course,
Oh, it could grow. It could be 50 years. So we'd have time for the trees to grow. You know, I mean, there's 39 acres. I'm just trying to. Again, I did try to get away from everybody as best I could.
I've kind of visited the site around here. What currently is on that 39 acres?
Alfalfa.
That's a hayfield, right?
Hayfield, and then the dirt track. Okay. Now the dirt, I talked to the two that are administrative guests, and I told them, I said, the dirt's getting a lot of dust when there were 4-wheelers, dirt bikes, and the dust was immense then. And they said, well, we liked watching those. And then as far as the other, he complains about putting a building up. I mean, I shouldn't have to not be able to pursue some sort of a building on my property if I chose to. And everybody does landscaping.
I'm definitely concerned about the health aspects of.
Well, and
you don't live here, correct?
Yeah, I live just to the north, right there.
And this is, you're going to have a hoop building. So what kind of material is on top of that?
On top of the building?
Yes.
It's a
plastic?
PVC covered building.
So I feel like
with
there's
galvanized structure.
still an opportunity for contaminants to be leaked.
They're
or
made
punctured.
for this purpose. I mean, if you look into them, they also do agricultural. They're for storing salt. They use for a lot of different purposes.
Okay. What other questions do you guys have?
What hours are you planning on doing?
7 to probably 5 or 6. 7 in the morning till 5 or 6, Monday through Friday. Yeah.
What about the equipment repair?
Same thing. They'll work on during the week as a regular business. I might do stuff on the weekend inside, whether it's replacing bearings or, seals, stuff like that. But the actual business intent is Monday through Friday.
So are you currently doing everything outside
Yes.
right now?
The sandblasting, and then I paint inside. And any mechanics inside. I got A-frames, the lift equipment, so forth. And it's not all the time. It's not sandblasting all the time, like you're saying. I do it. I'm sure if it offends them, nobody has not ever come to my house and asked me one time about it in 25 years that I've been doing it. No one has ever come and asked anything. Bill Garner, I'm not sure if you guys, he lived right next door to me. He had no problems with anything. I just don't know. I'm doing what I can.
If there are no further questions.
The only thing I can say is I appreciate the fact that you're trying to stay away from residents on this.
Okay.
You've moved the building site from the map here is how far from the road? It looks
800 feet.
Okay. It's quite a ways back off the road. Obviously, you're talking about putting up a structure to do this inside.
I have a future structure if you want to see the drawings for that. I just can't afford that right now. So the hoop building is what I would do to sandblast in for now. If you'd like to see the building, I've got drawings for it. Matt Welsh drew them up for me for future.
I think we're okay.
Okay.
With what you
Okay.
presented.
So are you confident in this particular hoop building that it's going to be?
Well,
You say
absolutely.
it's made, you say it's made for this.
It's made for this too, yes.
So is there something in place that would kind of help with that?
Inside of it, you put a like 10 by 10 structure with a fan and filter materials. It will suck in, filter, and blow back out through the filters inside the building.
So that would help?
Yes, nothing will go outside the building once it's in place.
And you're gonna have a septic with the building, or?
I don't plan on it right now. But if I do, I will put in for the right procedures to get a septic. Hannah's all sand, I'm sure it would pass, but I'm not putting a septic out right now, no.
All right, if there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion.
Thank you.
I move that we grant the petition for variance of developmental standards on these conditions, that the hoop building definitely goes into place before any sandblasting occurs, and that that the time that we will be operating will be within that time frame of, like you said, 7 to 6, because I know there's some noise involved with sandblasting, and that all of this, that this building actually passes the standards necessary for that kind of operation.
A second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Can I get a roll call, please?
Melissa Mullins-Mishke,
Nay.
Deb Vance,
Yes.
Ernie Schmidt,
No.
John Carr,
Nay.
Vern Schaefer.
Yes.
Failed.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So that motion did not pass. Okay. Petition number 6 this evening is a variance of developmental standards for Carol Lynn Satoski Life Estate, Sharon Younggreen and Jacqueline M. Bailey Trust for placement of a mobile home to care for the elderly grandmother. The property is located at 7505 South, 800 West, Westville, Clinton Township, zoned ag on 179 acres.
No, it's adequate.
You want? Oh, sorry. I'll come back for that. Yeah. They only have 3.
Adequate? We're good. If you would please state your name and address for the record.
Brandon Younggreen, 110 Indiana Street, La Crosse, Indiana, 46348.
All right, Brandon, is the mobile home there currently?
It is not.
Okay. Do you know what year the proposed one is?
We have been looking, we haven't found one yet because we haven't been through the approval process yet.
Okay, so you haven't even looked.
No,
Okay.
not yet.
All right. And we're gonna put grandma in there?
No, we're gonna be in there while grandma stays in the house and we're just gonna be there to take care of her, lifting, cleaning yard cleanup, stuff like that, because she's getting older and she's getting ready to have a knee replacement this summer, and we want to make sure we're there to give her the best care possible.
How old is grandma?
82.
Wow, okay. And it's her first hip replacement?
Knee replacement.
Okay.
This is her first knee, and she's going to get the next one done the next year.
Okay.
And she just had her shoulder done last summer, so we just want to make sure we're there to give her the care that she needs.
Do we have any remonstrators tonight for this petition? Anybody for or against this petition? Okay. What kind of questions do we have as a board?
You, Brandon, would be planning on living there?
Yes.
And this would not be deeded, this property is not necessarily going to be deeded off the farm. You're just going to move this mobile home onto that property to take care of grandma while she's there?
Yes, sir.
What are your plans for after your grandma does no longer with us?
Well, the plan would be, we haven't really thought that far ahead. We're just trying to take things one step at a time. Try not to think like that, obviously. But I would say the plan would obviously be whatever mom and her sister decide to do with the property, and we would obviously go from there.
Well, the reason I asked that is because the trailer or the mobile home, we wouldn't want to. I don't like those become permanent residences. Obviously, right. I've been past the property. It's very well kept, by the way. Mm-hmm. And the home there is a farm home, and that's where grandma lives. I understand what the situation is, and I just want to encourage the fact that if the need for the trailer, I wouldn't want it to become a rental property in the future.
It would not be a rental property. My mom and her sister would not allow that, and grandma would not like it either. So it would be removed from the property as soon as possible if anything ever were to happen.
And we can include that in a motion if
Yes.
that's the way we decide.
Would you consider putting in a small double wide?
We don't really have the funds for that. We were just kind of looking something cheap to get over there to help her while she's there needing our help.
So is there a septic on site from a previous mobile home?
Yes, sir. If I can bring this picture up to you guys, kind of show you how it sat before.
Yep. So I'm just gonna try to get you on the microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see
Big
it.
picture.
You see?
You can see how it was there. The septic is located about right in here. And leach field is probably 80 foot long on that.
Are you planning on putting it in the same site then?
Yes, sir. Same place.
And get you to head back to the podium then. Thank you.
It'll be hooked onto the.
So putting that there, you'll all make sure that's all up to code and everything's
Yes, yep.
working.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I talked to the health department already, and they said the most they'd have to have us do is probably put in maybe a 1,000-gallon tank, but they haven't been out there to inspect it yet. There's already a 1,000-gallon tank there, so basically it would probably just be replacement of that tank if it's crumbling or not in very good shape.
Okay, thank you.
If there are no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we grant the petition for variance for developmental standards for Carolyn Satosky Life Estate, Sharon Young Green, and Jacqueline Bailey Trust for placement of a mobile home to care for elderly grandmother, with the stipulation that when the need is over, that this property will not become a rental in the future.
Absolutely.
I second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Can I get a roll call, please?
Alyssa Mullins-Mishke,
Aye.
Deb Vance,
Yes.
Ernie Schmidt,
Yes.
John Carr,
Yes.
Vern Schaefer.
Yes.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you guys so much.
All right, petition 7 is a petition for variance of developmental standards for Alexander Tang for construction of a home with 5-foot side setbacks instead of the 10-foot minimum required for the property at 131 Judson Road, LaPorte, Center Township, zoned R1B.
No, it's adequate.
And I will mention that we did get some positive remonstrance for this petition, so if anybody wants to look at that, you can do that in the building department. Okay, if you would state your name and address for the record, please.
Alexandra Tang, 131 Judson Road.
Jason Barnes, 131 Judson.
All right. So what is the need that you have to move closer than 10 feet?
So, my name is Jason. Alex and I are married. Born, raised in LaPorte County. Lived here my whole life, and to get her to move out here, we landed on Pine Lake about 3 years ago, and she absolutely loves it. So we acquired this home. Since time has passed, her parents have, we bought it knowing it needed a lot of work. Her parents wanted to come up for in-law suite and spend the summer with us. So the house doesn't fit to that. And also it has some of the most treacherous old farmhouse stairs possible that are absolutely not safe. So it's only a 50-foot wide lot, and then we're also compressed by the bluff in the front. So we end up with a little bit of a cramped space. So if we stick to the standard 10-foot, we end up with a 30-foot wide home on the lake. And when putting an in-law suite on the main level, so her parents, who her father's 76, they can't maintain on the main level with a 30-foot wide house. It ends up with a very small living room and kitchen space. So to think ahead, two of the main things that we want to do is Currently, the house is kind of down in a ditch, so we're going to build that up, and then also run 2 main drain lines on both sides of the property to take the water that is currently washing away the foundation that is there, as well as our neighbor to the right has the same issue as we do, and send the water down to the bottom of the bluff to avoid future erosion problems, and go from there.
Okay, I was on board right until you said send the water down the bluff.
We're gonna take 10-inch drain lines and send it down to, because we have a large pad or a large area down at the bottom of the bluff. So we would take all of our rainwater that comes from the road down onto the property and put it down there by our parking area.
So
down
it's
at
still
the
going to
bottom.
be on your property.
It's still our property, yes.
Very good.
So we wouldn't be bleeding over to the neighbors.
Jason, you have me panicked there for a minute.
Oh.
This also catches your roof. drain.
Yes, yep, all the roof drains, everything would go into it. You know, if you drove by the property, water is our enemy, especially given that whole road hits us and the one neighbor next to us.
Yeah, and we definitely want to keep it out of Pine Lake as well.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna like redo the whole thing, right?
Yes.
That's the idea? Okay. Where are you from, out of curiosity?
I moved here from Florida.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Any
Why would anybody want to move to LaPorte from Florida?
You don't have gators?
Right
For you, right?
I'm right here.
Oh, come on, you can't hear this.
Hey, that's why.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm sorry. Okay, so are there any remonstrators for this petition other than the written positive remonstrance we've already reviewed? All right. What kind of questions do we have as a board?
So the foundation lines are gonna be 5 feet from the property lines?
Yes, sir.
What are we doing for the porch overhangs and stuff?
There'll be no porch on the east and west side. There'll be no porch. That's just straight walls.
The side of the house, right?
How about on the south and the north side?
So the north side will just be parking, and then the south, which faces the lake, will be a very large deck, which we own all the way down to the lake. So we have no issues going that way.
But you're off a quarter turn on your directions. Stiller is north of you.
You know, with that bend of the lake, I'm not really. Stiller's to the left, northwest, however it is. So, to the east. The east side, the lake
Right.
side, will be the deck.
And that's where it drains down the bank?
Yes, sir. And then the north and south side, which would be Stiller and Jan, that would be just straight house, no decks, no balconies off that side.
Okay.
Just purely on the east side.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you guys have any questions? Okay, if there are no further questions, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to grant the petition for Alexandra Tang for construction of a home with 5-foot setbacks instead of 10-foot minimum required.
My second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Could I get a roll call, please?
Melissa Mullins-Mishke,
Nay.
Deb Vance,
Yes.
Ernie Schmidt,
Yes.
John Carr,
Yes.
Vern Schaefer.
Yes.
Okay, congratulations, you passed.
Thank you much. And also, I agree with that gentleman. The building department's very, very helpful.
Wonderful. Good to hear. Thank you. Did you get I feel like you guys slipped him a 20. I don't know.
Enjoy your winters up here, by the way.
Okay, petition number 8. I'm sorry, that's so funny. A petition for variance of developmental standards for Stephen P. Murphy and Stephen P. Murphy Jr. with joint rights of tenant, whatever. for placement of a shipping container approximately 8 by 40 for the property located at 2716 East State Road 2, Rolling Prairie, Kankakee Township, zoned R1B on 1 acre.
Notice adequate.
Okay. If you would, state your name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, I'm Stephen P. Murphy at 2716 East State Road 2, Rolling Prairie.
Okay. And tell me what you're going to use the shipping container for.
Well, I have a fairly large family and we like to get together a lot. And my garage is full of all kinds of stuff. I have 2 zero-turn lawnmowers, golf cart, a tractor mower, plus other stuff in the garage. And I wanted to use it for mainly for what it is, for storage, to put my stuff in.
I don't know if we can do that or not.
So then like Easter time and 4th of July, Thanksgiving, birthdays. My son actually got married in our garage. And I wanted to be able to clean the stuff out and put it in the container. You know, build shelves in it and put it in there, not just pack it in there full of junk. I'm not a hoarder. I don't keep a lot of junk. If it ain't no good, it's gonna get rid of. And that's what I want it for, so I can organize it in there. If I want something, I know right where it is to go get it. And that way my other building is cleaned out better, so we don't have 30 plus people, plus the kids all running in and out of the house and everywhere else. It works out really nice.
And
That's right. I looked at that. Well, there.
She wants to put it right now.
Down, I'm sure he's not happy.
are there any remonstrances for this petition? Anybody for or against this petition? Right here.
Good.
No remonstrators? What kind of questions do we have as a board?
One of the things I noticed looking on the Beacon map, and I haven't visited the site, but that you have property that's that you're having things stored on property that's adjacent to yours. It's not really your property. It belongs to another party. The agricultural field next to, because the way these property lines are drawn on the Beacon map is that you're kind of spilling over already onto the neighbor.
No, that picture of that map that they took of my residence is way off from where the property lines actually are. I don't know if you can see the fence there or not, but it's like from the fence line itself, which is the fence is on my property by about a foot or so. It's
So the Beacon
almost 30 feet from that sideline to the back of my
Okay, so the
garage.
Beacon, you're telling me the Beacon map is wrong from the stake survey that you have
Can
on
I
your
come
property?
see?
Yeah, here.
Yeah, the Beacon website is really just a representation of what's parcels. I know what it looks like.
It's showing here, you got, where the blue lines are.
It's not intended, it's a survey.
And so him,
That
that's
camper,
his
that's
property.
camper, and it's gonna be gone.
So this is
The
what
property
the
line
fence
is
is.
over here. Yeah, it's
I always
closer
look
to
for-
the edge of the
Can you-
field, but this picture makes it look like it's real close. Yeah. When it's really not. It's like probably a good 35 feet from this property line to the back of that garage.
Okay.
It's way, way different.
All right.
I drew a map for the ladies that came out and the
Got it.
gentlemen, and I gave it to them.
Yeah, we have it, we have it.
And it shows where, I don't know, I have a son-in-law draw.
He does have enough space on
It's
this.
wider than this building is right here from that property line over to the back of the field.
Stephen, could I get you to head back to the podium so we can get you on? Yeah, the slow is perfect. I don't want you to get, we just want to make sure we get you recorded for the record. Thank you.
Madam President, I would tend to agree with the petitioner. I think Beacon is off on that.
I agree as well. Mhm.
And as far as the color of the container, I have not looked into. I did somewhat look into them, but when I do get it, it's going to be white. I don't care what color it comes. It's going to be white. I don't want no off color, something stupid sitting there. No, I will paint it white so it blends in and looks like it's supposed to be.
Okay. questions? John? You guys have any questions? If there are no further questions, I will entertain a motion.
I'll entertain a motion that we do not allow the storage container.
Okay, so I have a motion to deny the petition. Do I have a second to deny the petition?
I'll second.
Okay.
Oh,
I
man.
have a motion and a second to deny. If I could get roll call, please.
Melissa Mullins-Mischke?
So
It's
I
aye
would,
to deny.
I to deny is aye.
Deb Vance?
Aye.
Ernie Schmidt?
Aye.
John Carr?
Aye.
Vern Schaefer?
Aye.
Okay, so unfortunately your motion did not pass.
Can I ask why? What's the problem?
Sir, on the record, we don't discuss the whys after the fact. Once the vote's taken, procedurally, we're done with the petition.
So there's nothing I can do? I mean,
You can talk to a lawyer about a possible appeal.
do what? I'm sorry.
You can talk to a lawyer about a possible appeal.
You?
Or you can refile a petition in 1 year, or you can come up with something different.
Like an actual structure.
I don't understand why. I don't understand why. I'm gonna make it look nice. I'm gonna paint it white. So
We're done. We got other petitions to hear, okay?
Okay, petition number 9 this evening is a petition for variance of developmental standards for Michael R. and Cassandra Kaselke for construction of a pole barn in front of and to the side of the home instead of 10 feet behind the home. Property is located at 4087 East Rolling Drive, Rolling Prairie, Kankakee Township, zoned R1A.
Notice it's adequate.
Did you see an acreage on there? Hi there, if you would state your name and address.
Michael Koselke, 4087 East Rolling Drive, Rolling Prairie, Indiana, 46371 here.
Michael, how much acreage do you have there?
I don't know what that is.
A lot.
It's a lot and a half.
Okay,
I would say 3/4-ish,
okay.
maybe a little bigger. It's the biggest lot back there, so whatever the square footage figures up at.
Okay, so what is unique to your property that we need to build your pole barn in front of and to the side of your home?
It is, the way the lot's laid out, I have a walkout basement. So on the east side of the home, which would be the half lot, there's like a 3-foot, 4-foot drop off. So I have roughly, how big is that? From like the middle of the house to the road. After that, it drops, I'd say 3 feet. So there'd be considerable drop off. So in order to construct a garage, I might as well, it cost me a fortune to put a foundation in.
You don't want a walkout garage too?
No, no. Already got one in the back.
Okay,
Are you, is it time?
please go ahead.
Are you going to tie into any septic with it?
No, nope, it's just gonna be a garage, just electric will be the only thing. No water, no. I'll be close enough to the house, it's not that big a deal.
Do we have any remonstrators tonight for this petition? Anybody in favor or against?
And you'll be parked right next to the road.
Anybody in favor or against?
This guy didn't want it because his house.
All right, let's see what other questions we have.
And they normally line up subdivision that way.
Do you guys have any questions?
Madam President, we did have written remonstrance on this one?
Yes.
Thank you. I've forgotten.
Do have.
Oh, and if anybody, is it in favor or against?
It's against.
So it's against the petition, and if anybody wants to read it, they can find a copy of it in the building commissioner's office.
May I ask who it was? I know who it was, never mind. I know who it was. He has no room to talk.
Not here.
Yeah, this is when the neighbors come out, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions?
I
So,
could, if
I
I
have a
could show you
question.
pictures when I get to, but never mind. I gotcha.
Is there a reason that you don't want to keep your building in line with the front of your garage and house? Like
Actually,
the rest of the subdivision is design their buildings to set?
Yes, it would be just for the initial cost factor, because if I have to go back, I have to put in footers, 8-foot walls, and then fill it, and then build my building on top of it. It'd be, basically, it's the ease of where I want to put it. It's the easiest place for me to put it.
So it's about your ridge line where it starts to drop
Right,
off?
right.
Okay.
I'm about 3 feet off that drop off, and I don't want to push it back too much further, just for stability of the building.
So is there room to change the size of the building and extend it towards your property line?
Actually, I am gonna narrow it up. After I staked it out, it looks I wanna keep everything looking nice. So I wanna make everything, it's 40 feet, I'm thinking we're gonna go about 32. That'll give me 20 feet here. It'll give me about 16 in between the garage and the house. So we'll keep everything kind of symmetrical as far as that goes. It's just to the road is what's getting me into trouble. I could probably make it less deep, but then that defeat the purpose of what I need. You know, I could take a couple feet off and bring it back. That'd put me probably 8 feet in front of that little wing on the west side of the house. If you're following, you have a picture of it, correct? Of what I drew? Yeah.
You're 10 feet now in front of the garage.
Roughly. Well, in front of the wing on the front of the house. I'm actually farther than that in front of the garage. The house is actually L-shaped. So I'm going off the farthest point towards the road, which would be the L part. Are you following me?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the point I'm trying to make my measurement off of. I don't know exactly what it is, but it'd probably be about 10 feet. I'm guessing somewhere in there.
So can you get the square footage you want if you made your garage not as deep to the north and to the south?
I can't go
more to the east?
I can't go any farther to the north because of that drop off in the back.
Okay.
I want to give myself some solid ground there, if you follow what I'm
Okay.
If I have to, I'll make it less deep. 30 feet's just a nice round number. I can get a vehicle in there, I've got room in front of it, to work. Basically, that's my tinkering shop is what it's gonna be.
But can you gain the square footage if you want more to the east? Or you're tinkering?
I could. I want to leave me enough room to get into the backyard. That's why I left that 20 feet to the east. That'll give me plenty of room to get in the backyard. If I take anything off, it'll be that side towards the house, which I probably will do. I'll take 8 feet off of that. So that'll all look fairly, symmetrical across there. I want to make it look nice. It is a subdivision.
Go ahead. So will this barn look similar to the home? Are you gonna
Yes,
keep that?
it will be, actually, if I brought my phone with me, I would show. It's gonna be a tan and a burgundy. So it'll match, the roof of the house is kind of a grayish red brick on the front, and then it's got the tan siding. So it should, it should match pretty nice. It's not gonna be some just no overhangs or anything like, it's gonna have overhangs, it'll look nice. The roof line will follow the house.
Okay, do we have any other questions?
I'm trying to get this in my mind so your garage, your future garage isn't going to stick out further than what your neighbor's house is for visibility getting in and out of the garage.
Right, yeah.
Out of their driveways.
Right, I've cut down trees, 2 of the big trees had to come down anyway, that's not an issue. But can I approach you and show you?
Yeah, sure. So is that,
I'd like to see it too. We've got the map here of your house.
Turn the mic.
Okay.
Just show us in some kind of a way
where you're talking about.
Okay, this tree was removed, that tree was removed. Basically, it's gonna sit right about here.
So it's front of your house by
Yeah.
10 feet?
I'd say 10 feet off of this mark here.
Okay, and how far are you off of the right-of-way for this road?
What did I have off the road? Did I have 30 feet? I did.
You
have
did,
30
30.
feet off the edge.
That's off the edge, not off the
Off the
center.
edge, not off the center, off the edge.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Because obviously the question here is, most of the time we don't allow buildings to
Front of.
stick out further toward the road than the house, correct?
Yes.
Like them to be behind or even with the house.
That's correct, and in this case, that's why he's applying for the
Right.
the variance, and then the reason is because of the grade elevation differential that exists to put it where it would, the code calls for.
Otherwise, he'd move it back if he.
Yeah. So there's no remonstrators other than the written remonstrance? If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the petition.
I second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Could I get a roll call, please?
Melissa Mullins-Mischke,
Aye.
Deb Vance,
Yes.
Ernie Schmidt,
No.
John Carr,
Aye.
Vern Schaefer.
Yes.
Okay, good luck, your motion passed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And rounding it out tonight is going to be our petition number 10 for variance of developmental standards for Matthew, and I'm not gonna,
Bayline.
Bayline, okay, thank you. For construction of a garage before the primary home. Property is located at 5606 West Vintage Hills Trail, LaPorte, Center Township, zoned R1B.
Notice is adequate.
Thank you. If you would state your name and address for the record.
Matthew Bainline.
Okay,
Address is 7627 North Eldon Lane, New Carlisle.
all right. So talk to me about what your structure you're gonna build.
20, right now the plans are for 20 wide by 24 deep garage in back of the house before building the house so I can move my construction materials and tools to the house. I used to be in the trade, sold my trailer in 2015. I have no way of keeping tools, scaffolding, ladders, miscellaneous, and building supplies that I gather, cabinetry, and other deals I get. I want to get that ahead of time and tile and store it in this. Future would be used for storing. I'll probably get a tractor to remove snow, and that would be my second garage. And the primary garage would be attached to the house on the east side of the home.
How long before you anticipate starting construction on the home?
On the home?
Yes.
Yeah, it would be either in the fall or next spring.
So we talk about building now.
And how long would it take you anticipate for the structure to be built?
The garage or the home?
The garage?
The garage,
From now till the fall?
realistically, 4 months.
Okay,
But I'm not going to take any time off work.
okay. Are there any remonstrators for this petition? Anybody for or against it? Okay, hearing and seeing no remonstrators, what kind of questions do we have?
You've got good drainage to the south. You've got good sand for building.
Yes.
I think you picked a good lot.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions? If we do not have additional questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the petition.
I second it.
Can we put something in there about when the construction on the primary home should start?
Which is,
Within 12 months?
yeah,
Would that be doable for you?
18, because the house is going, or the garage would be put up this year.
So you're talking about 18 months from this point? Is that what
Yes.
would be convenient? Then I think we should add that the construction start on the home within 18 months.
Agreed.
guys
Yep.
okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Can I get a roll call?
Melissa Mullins Mishki,
Aye.
Deb Vance,
Yes.
Ernie Schmidt,
Yes.
John Carr,
Yes.
Vern Schaefer.
Yes.
Okay, congratulations. Good luck. Is there any other business in front of the Board of Zoning Appeals this evening? Okay, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Yes.
Second.
I'll second it.
I have a motion, a few seconds, couple motions. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign.